like having a system that I follow up. I just tell myself a date on my calendar or on my Google Sheet when to follow up, and I do it.
You've got to spend a full-time effort dedicated towards.
Thing that you're saying, where it's like you just show up and you just do what you're supposed to do.
All right, welcome back to your favorite podcast on the planet that you probably haven't listened to yet because you're a new subscriber, Realty Talk podcast. To my left, I have the queen of the closing table. I don't know if you knew that was her nickname, but
I did not.
She's the queen of the closing table.
Paul Fix It All Hansen.
Yes.
Do you feel like that's accurate?
Yes, definitely.
Right? See,
Definitely.
It resonates.
There was like weeks leading up to the nickname, and I didn't know what it was going to be.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
Yeah. Could be worse.
I like it.
And today we are very excited. We have a guest, which is near and dear to my heart, Mr. Paxton Hagen. That's how you pronounce your last name.
Yeah, Hagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any nicknames for Paxton that maybe he doesn't know about?
I think the office has a nickname for you.
Oh.
What do they call you? Young boss?
Oh,
No.
Boss Kid.
Boss Kid.
Yeah.
Boss Kid. Okay.
Yeah. It's because
all right.
you left Fall for like a week.
Yep.
And you put me in charge. So I was the youngest one in the office. So that's how it came to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
We should probably dive right into Paxton's ascension into his current position.
Yes.
So Paxton, you are the head of acquisitions at Bye Bye House. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to divulge age, but you...
It's very young. Very young.
You have been
Smart.
You have been with Bye Bye House for 3 years now?
Yeah, like 2.5, just about 3.
And you started as an intern.
Yep.
I don't think we ever made you get coffee.
No, you didn't, because I was fully remote when I started, remember?
That's right.
Yeah, I started over the summer working not even in the office. So I came in for like 1 week to train, and then you set me loose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we didn't do to you what we did to the interns today.
You did not do that. You did not do that.
We didn't haze them formally.
We didn't haze them. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's good to note. Let me put some notes.
Yeah.
I'm not an intern anymore,
Yeah.
so you can't do that. Yeah.
He's graduated.
Yeah.
So, well, tell us about your life. Tell us how you ended up in a real estate acquisitions role.
Yeah, so I had interned in college at one other company. It was a private lending company. So it wasn't directly, real estate as much, but it was in the field. So I had experience like underwriting, doing that kind of stuff, doing just basically a bunch of cold calls. That's what I did, which I think is always great. Like first internship, it should just be cold calls if you're going into business. But I did that, and then they actually decided not to have me over the summer. I was all set up to intern there over the summer, and then the week the summer started, they said, actually, we can't have you come back over the school year. So I was like, okay, I need to find something.
So your supervisor was afraid you were going to take his job.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess so.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
I reached out to you. I reached out to a couple of different people. I think actually technically I connected with Center Street on LinkedIn.
Nice.
And then obviously I interviewed, and then you hired me over the summer. And then that's when I had started just doing straight acquisitions, just remote, looking on Redfin, looking on the MLS, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that's now a year after that, you came in kind of full time.
Yeah, I was like
part time ish.
Yeah,
as you were still finishing school.
Yeah, I was going to the office like twice a week, I think.
Yeah.
And then the rest was just remote. And then once I graduated, I came on officially full time.
Yeah.
As just an associate. And then I was moved to obviously head of acquisitions in the next like 6 months.
So it's probably a good opportunity to pause for a second and just clear the air. Because I've never really brought up my major issue with you. I feel like our relationship is really
Drum
good,
roll.
but we didn't get the invite to graduation.
Oh, that's
We didn't get a
true.
wedding
We wanted to
We
be
didn't
there.
get.
It's okay. It's fine.
Limited tickets. So, I mean, it would be you or like my family. So,
Okay, well, at least I know where I stand on the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. I'm joking.
Not
Awesome.
really.
it was close. Yeah.
So, I mean, we can segue into some of the other items that we have, but I think it'd be really cool for you to talk about what you're working on right now. Like what does a typical month look like for you in your position? And maybe I'll kind of paraphrase a little bit before you dive into it.
Sure.
But your current responsibilities are to oversee all of the properties that Buy by House acquires. And that could be, in dollars, that could be, as little as $2 or $3 million in a month up to $10 million worth of inventory. And that could mean 4 transactions up to 8 or 10 or something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, everything until we actually get the keys and record is under my umbrella. So it's not just like, finding the property and writing offers. It's also coordinating the escrows and obviously getting to the actual finish line. I have the keys in my hand, and then that's when I hand it over to the PMs, and then they start.
Yep.
So yeah, on a weekly and then monthly basis, I would say like every week we're submitting a ton of offers, all different strategies, listed, off market, cold calls, pocket listings, pretty much everything we'll do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, we make a ton of offers every single week. And then, like you said, month to month, it does depend on how much we do buy. But I think a couple months ago, we bought like $9 million worth of inventory. And then we usually probably buy more around like 4 to 5, I would say.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if usually we're talking agents on here, and a lot of our listeners are agents. So if you are a real estate agent, how do you work with Buy by House?
Yeah, so most of the deals we do actually right now are with agents, even on like listed properties. So it's definitely, I think a lot of people have the misconception that like, you have to have the inside track, or like, you have to bring me an off-market property that you have. That's not really the case. The agents that we work with the most bring value to me. So they'll do their own, cold calling of homeowners, door knocking, notice of default, just calls. They'll follow up on expired properties. They have a bunch of different strategies, what they do. Some people focus on specific areas. Some people try to kind of do it all. But those kind of agents that do the work themselves and then bring me the full package and say, hey, here's the property. This is the price you can get it for. I think it's a deal because this is what ARV is. And this is what the renovation budget is. Those are the agents that we do a lot of business with. Instead of just sending me a listing and saying, what would you buy this for?
Hey, what do you think?
Yeah. What's ARV, Paxton? Let's tell the group.
So ARV is what it sells for once it's fully renovated and once we've done everything to it. We put it on the market. And the idea, obviously, is that we'll probably list it for what ARV is. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on where the market is at when we actually do list it, 6 or probably like 3 months or 4 months after we buy it.
So it stands for after renovation value.
Yeah, sorry, that is the term.
Yes. So being in the position you're in now, what have you learned that you would pass on? As Suzanne mentioned, we have agents that are listening, not just in California either. I mean, all over the U.S. And I think most agents aspire to become investors over time, or have an interest in it. So what would you recommend they do to get to a place where they can transact frequently? Because if we buy 10 houses, your team is directly responsible for creating, call it 6 or 7 of those, and then outside agents are bringing you the other 30%.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I mean, if you looked at yourself just as a real estate agent, not an investor, you're transacting 5 to 6 times a month. I think every agent in the United States would be like foaming at the mouth to transact that frequently. So what are you doing that you would recommend they go and do to see more transaction volume?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say the main thing for me, probably 2. The first one is just volume, and then the second one is just following up. So I have...
So double click on those. Like volume, what do you mean by volume?
Volume, I mean... essentially setting a number, a standard for yourself of what you're going to do for the week. So let's say for me, like submitting 5 offers, 5 real offers that I think I have a chance on, right?
Yep.
That's my goal for the week. I do that every week, no matter what. Even if it's Friday and I only have 1, I'm going to go drive and be out and then submit 5 offers because that's what my goal is.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. The second one.
Can I, what's pause?
Yeah.
So that means that you're spending full-time efforts identifying how to go get deals.
Yes, definitely.
So 40 hours or more a week, you are trying to transact.
Yeah.
Probably more. Yeah.
And I feel like, when I'm talking to agents, like how many agents do we know that are writing 5 offers a week in the market as, it stands right now?
Not many.
Not many. So, the it's there. The opportunity is there. It's just a matter of, Execution.
Right. Yeah. And then to note on that, I think a lot of people also kind of have the, conception that there's not enough houses listed for them to contribute. So they'll be like, they'll send me a deal and I might be like, oh, I've already seen this. And then they'll be like, oh, well, there's not really enough out there for me to contribute. But I think I only really see like 20% of what I could be writing on, because there's always opportunity, like houses that have been listed for, 120 days. Like, let's write an offer on that. So there's a bunch of stuff that I never think that there's too many people looking at the market. I think there could always be more different strategies, different approaches.
And inventory's up overall year over year. So I think, the story of what it used to be, like, oh, there's just not enough homes on the market. Inventory is ticking up. So that story has changed as well.
So the other thing I want to double click on volume before we move to follow up, how many offers do you write to get a home purchase? Like, how much, if you're thinking about it in terms of the sheer number of offers, the number of deals you get into escrow, and then the number of deals you buy, what is the disparity or the conversion rate there?
10 to 1.
So you write 10 offers to buy a deal?
Yes.
And how many go into escrow?
Probably out of those 10, probably 2.
Got it. So 10 offers.
1.5, 2, yeah.
1.5 or 2 escrows, and you close 1.
Yeah.
And so, and that's you today.
Yeah.
When you started, what were those percentages?
Way less. I probably was getting like 1 deal under contract a month with kind of the same outline of 5 offers.
Right.
And probably it was still 50% on the close rate, I would say, approximately.
Sure.
So I'd probably say every other month.
You were
when I first
transacting.
started, yeah.
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 But during that time, you were full-time focused on getting deals.
Right. Yep.
So what I'm taking away from this, if you're an agent that wants to increase deal flow and volume, what I'm hearing you say is, number one, you've got to spend a full-time effort dedicated towards writing offers, understanding how you can create value for your investor, and then transactions will come.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you got to put a lot of time in.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is with like actual agents, like you only need 1, 2, maybe 3 investors to like fund your year, like for your salary. Like we have a specific couple agents that like they don't have to use anybody else. They could just they do probably one every other month with Buy House. And I mean, that is probably more than most people.
Yeah.
And they're obviously usually bigger purchases. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying.
So that agent transacts 6 times a year with us.
Yeah.
And the amount of money they make there is probably 4 or 5 times what the average California agent makes.
Yeah, I don't know what the average is, but probably
less than 1 transaction.
Yeah.
Then yes.
I think today there are 500,000 or just under 500,000 licensed real estate agents in the state of California.
Oh, wow.
And there will not be 500,000 homes transacting this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So if you're an agent in this market, this kind of sounds like a really great solution.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about something that we discuss all the time because, when we put Innovate together, that was kind of one of our key principles and key thoughts was, agents that are waking up every single day and thinking, how am I going to find a deal today? Or how am I going to find business today? I think, there's a lot to learn in this space. And as you as you shared, it didn't just come. You didn't just start throwing deals under contract and executing it. It took more time in the beginning, but it was still, you treated it like a full-time job. You put all of the effort in, and now you're at a place where, you can bring these deals to fruition quite often. And as an agent, we say it all the time, like, why wouldn't you do that? Why would it, if you want to make money, I mean, come on, this is a great opportunity. So,
right.
Last thing I'll say about all of that, I think we struggle sometimes on this podcast specifically because it's focused at real estate. I am probably jaded because I've been an entrepreneur for so long, but I think that the average American is not switched on. That's what I say. So let me transition away from real estate. Let's say you're a Starbucks barista. If you woke up in the morning and you were going to go and be a Starbucks barista, right? what I know about you is that you would make the best coffee you could possibly make, and you would be trying to improve yourself every day, and you'd be present, and you'd show up, and you'd grind. I think the average American worker is punching the clock and unengaged. They're not switched on. And so I think that's the same for real estate agents. They wake up, if they don't have a listing and they don't have a buyer, they are not proactively trying to improve. They're waiting, they're reacting to the market. So they might think, oh man, supply's down. They've probably already seen this. I'm not going to send it to them, right? Where what you're doing is putting in the effort. You're switched on. You're grinding, and the benefits come from that,
Right.
And what I've seen, from being a part of multiple markets at this point, there were a lot of agents that came in the market in 2021. And so,
market,
and even previous to that, there have been a lot of times in history where you can just pick up your phone and wait for someone to come to you, but that is not the market today. So, it's all about what can you do to set yourself apart? What can you do to still generate the income that you want to make? And this seems like a very good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, definitely is.
But you talked about follow-up. I don't want to skip that part because I do think that's probably one of the most important pieces to you executing on these deals.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've talked about this a ton of times, obviously, Paul.
Yep.
But yeah, for me, it's just honestly pretty simple. Like having a system that I follow up, I just tell myself a date on my calendar or on my Google Sheet when to follow up, and I do it. I mean, that's literally all it is. And you'd be surprised, or I'd be surprised even too, how little people just do that. Like it's very, very simple. Just like say, 2 days, call them.
Yeah.
Boom. And then just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much the system.
Yeah.
And that's like just that combined with kind of what Paul said, just like working every day and grinding.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It comes down to that's the same thing that you're saying, where it's like you just show up and you just do what you're supposed to do, But I also think that we talked about this on another episode where there are just certain people that at a very young age too, kind of just have that drive. So where would you say your drive comes from? Like, do you think that was something that you were just born with, you have felt your whole life, or where are you channeling that from?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't think I've thought like too much about where my drive comes from. I mean, obviously I'm still pretty young, so I guess I could say it doesn't like just develop.
But there are a lot of people your age that, are not doing this and are not running an acquisition team for, and purchasing X number of homes every month. So, what sets you apart? Where did that come from?
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, putting you on the spot.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I guess I was in high school, like I obviously try to apply myself, but that seems like a very different, thing that you're talking about. So
I mean, not really. Like we talked about it when I was telling my story. It was like I used to ditch school because I wanted to work. Like I was motivated to like make something and make money and create.
Yeah.
And that started in school with me too. But eventually it just shifted from like being really good in school to like my competitive nature. I wanted to be really good at my job.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you're competitive?
Yeah, definitely competitive.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I'm like a 10 out of 1 out of 10, probably like 8. Maybe 9, like on the competitive scale, but it probably shows less than other people too. But yeah, I think it's a very internal thing.
I don't think that's right.
What do you think?
I think you're incredibly humble.
Yeah.
And you would never want to put somebody in a position where they felt bad. But if you don't mind, I'm going to share a story.
Yeah.
And then we got to.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah. Then we have our.
I think he's incredibly competitive internally because we had a conversation about running a marathon. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to do that. And I was like, oh, great. When are you going to go and run a marathon? And we just briefly talked about it, but he started training. And then 3 months later goes and runs a marathon. He didn't run like a race where there's hundreds or thousands of other people. He just set a course up for himself and then went and ran a marathon. And he was like, well, I just want to get it done within this amount of time because I've got other stuff I want to go and do. So I'm not going to let the rest of the world dictate when I can go and accomplish what I want to do. So then he just went and did it.
I love that.
I mean, it's incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
I just think that internally you wouldn't want, when you say I'm an 8 or a 9, you wouldn't want to step on someone's throat to win the game. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is healthy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
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 Okay.
Depends on whose throat it is, but
yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. On that note, we have one of our segments where one of our listeners submitted a story to us. Paul gets to read it out loud. It's a fun real estate story, hopefully. We'll see. I don't know. The last one left us like, we need more. So
lots of
hopefully.
questions.
And just to preface this, so for our listeners, you should definitely subscribe because we have a personal real estate story coming soon. It's just, we're at the beginning stages of uncovering what this story will be, but yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe because Paul will be sharing his own real estate story.
Yeah, it's gonna be
very
great.
soon here.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. So for our listeners, on this week's segment of Homes Gone Wild, a repeat buyer couple and I went to view a short sale listing. After I knocked on the door, it cracked open about a half an inch. I peeked inside and it was pitch black. In the darkness, I heard a voice say, "Come in." Interesting.
Creepy.
Perfect.
When they say it's pitch black, was it just dark inside or was it like a nighttime showing? I'm confused. My buyers and I entered with our hands out in front of us because we couldn't see anything. I asked, "Can I turn on some lights?" No reply. We turned a corner where I found a light switch. I turned it on. We were standing in the kitchen where 4 or 5 people were sitting on couches in their pajamas, staring blankly ahead. Oh my gosh, is this like the
What
Hills?
is this?
This is the Hills Have Eyes.
Oh no.
There was also a deep freezer chest in the middle of the room and a hole in the floor. All of a sudden, 2 German shepherds pounced on a sliding door and started barking like crazy. My clients and I almost hit the ceiling, but the people sitting on the couches didn't even flinch. They just sat staring straight ahead. This is creepy.
Oh.
I asked a question, and one of them kind of mumbled something. I thanked them for their time, and my clients and I quickly scooted out the door and into my car. We drove several miles before any of us spoke. Mrs. Buyer broke the silence by saying, "Did anyone else feel like we were about to become Sunday barbecue?"
Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
Oh, that's so creepy.
I'm still left with more. Were they squatters? Are they homeless people?
We do have questions after these stories. I feel like that some of them need a part 2.
Yeah.
Like we need more information.
That
But
hurts my heart.
but what I will
Creepy.
say is there are so many of these stories though. Like real estate is wild. It is not what you see on TV. It
Not
is
for the
not.
faint of heart.
That is not the real drama. This is like the real drama, the real life. So yeah, that's an
awesome.
interesting one. Okay.
So I have a question for you at the end of that, which is, what is the most unique thing you've experienced in buying distressed real estate?
Oh, I mean, I've seen some pretty crazy properties. I think it's fun because every time I go into a new property, the homeowner, if they're there, they always say like, "I'm so sorry for the mess. This is so horrible." And I'm like, trust me, like seriously, trust me. Like this looks amazing to me.
Yeah, like you can't top what I've seen.
Yeah,
So
I'm like
it's
this looks wonderful. I would love to live here right now. Yeah. The craziest thing I've ever seen, there was a listing that I didn't actually offer on. It was in Costa Mesa that there was a whole situation with the seller. The tenants were getting evicted, actually. And when some of you might actually know what I'm talking about, when they posted it, when it sold officially, I think that the tenant got evicted and it was like a court sale or something like that. They were forced to sell. They put on Redfin and on MLS pictures and screenshots of the text between the tenant and like the legal person, and it was like bad. Like they put like probably like 25 pictures of just like literal screenshots of text, and they were obviously like cussing each other out, like calling each other, and like that was just on the MLS. Anybody could see it. And I was like,
that then syndicates
How
to
did the
Zillow and
MLS
Redfin.
like?
I don't
How
know.
did they not flag? I mean, I get flagged like for for using like the wrong word, I get flagged and potentially fined. Like, how did they let that slide?
Probably
I don't
'cause it's a photo.
Yeah, but still, they'll say like they comment on that.
I think it got taken down pretty soon after
Eventually,
that. Yeah, but I was like, I saw it like a minute after.
Cringe.
Because it's Costa Mesa. I see all those listings. And I was like, I literally looked at it for 30 minutes. I was like,
Is that what led you to not write an offer on it?
well, it already
other
sold.
dynamics?
So,
Okay, it was
yeah. That's not one that I actually walked, but that's one that I was, obviously saw. And it was just, I'd never seen anything like that before.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of these questions, but I think I should ask them.
Yeah.
Because I think for our listeners it would be good.
Yeah.
When you're out looking for deals, what's the ideal kind of box? Like, what's your buy box? What is the ideal home to purchase as a fix and flip transaction?
Just like all aspects of the home you're talking about?
Yeah, what are you looking for in general?
Yeah, I'm looking for something pretty distressed. So I'm looking for the main criteria is something that a homeowner, like an end user or a developer, would not want. So, because we don't do ground up. If a developer would want it, it's not for us. Probably a skip. If it's for an end user, it's nice enough to live in right now. It's lendable. Probably a skip. If neither of those things are true, it pretty much always is at least, somewhat of a fit for us. Regardless of where they have it listed or what the price they want for it. If it's that criteria, then that is something I would be interested in and look into. Yeah.
And what's your target return profile? Like, when you are buying something, what are you trying to make?
Yeah, so we look at it from like return on revenue, ROR. We usually always shoot for 10% ROR. It does depend on the pocket. Like some, nicer, higher end properties, we're gonna ask for a bigger ROR, especially in LA. Pockets that we like better, maybe like pockets that are moving faster in OC, will maybe go 6 or 7% ROR. Usually it doesn't exactly relate to purchase price to ARV, but I would say on average like 65 to 70% of ARV is where we end up buying the home.
So you're 65 to 70% of after renovation value.
Yes,
So if it's going to be worth $1 million, you're writing between 650, 700.
Correct. Yeah, that's not how we calculate it, but that usually nets out to be that. So some agents that I know, I tell them that so that they don't have to run the complicated calculations. They can just be like, oh, it's in the range. It's probably a fit.
Yeah.
Got it. So that helps an agent make a quick assessment if it's worth spending time on.
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, that's hard to find that kind of deal. So that's why, it's tough. But if they find something in that range, then, it's pretty much always just going to be a purchase for us. And the thing I like about us is that, it's not emotional. Like if it hits our numbers, like we pull the trigger, we buy it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's emotional, but I will say the other thing that
emotional for us or the agent that submitted the deal?
It's all real estate ends up being emotional in these transactions, whether it's anger towards Anyway, the other thing I wanted to on your follow-up piece, I just wanted to circle back to that really quick because I think, it's easy to say like, oh, I follow up and, I have it in my calendar. But I think as Paul said, you're being pretty humble because I think what we're saying is the people you're following up with are people that have like rejected you basically on your offers. Yeah. And you are saying like, hi, I'm still here. I'm ready to make an offer. And I actually think, because we've looked at this quite a bit too. And I feel like that's really the missing piece for a lot of agents. When they try and submit offers, they submit the offer. And I think, we have a handful of agents that do this well. But, you consistently make this part of your process. And I think this is something that sets you apart because, you submit the offer, you get rejected. But I think the message is really strong that Buy House is a real buyer, but this is the number that we are going to have to buy it at in order to make it work. And so that continuous follow-up, especially if something just hit the market, it's likely that they're not going to take the offer if they feel like it's too low. But after they've kind of tested the waters a bit and experienced maybe other people backing out, you're able to come in and say, actually, no, we can save the day. Like, I see that you fell out. And I think that is the most important part and really the missing link for a lot of agents that are doing this.
Yeah, my opinion on like why follow-up is so important today is that, the dichotomy between, a seller, an agent that's representing a seller in a distressed situation, pricing expectations with what we've seen over the last 5 years, and where an end investor will actually purchase, there's a fair amount of disparity there. So seller thinks, hey, I've got this house, it's got to be worth a lot even though it's banged up. agent gets the listing. In this market over the last 4 or 5 years, agents haven't gotten a lot of listings. And so they try to, keep that seller happy.
Yeah.
But they don't really set a good level of expectation of where it should transact. So they try to push investors up. What we see happen is that those investors, get in, do inspections, back out.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this from an ego standpoint, but I just think that we've done this long enough, and we've watched transactions that we missed on close even below where we would have purchased. We're not that far off. Usually, I mean, it's within a point or two.
Yeah.
But it is an emotional process for the listing agent and the seller. So when we say we're not emotional, we look at the math. We say, okay, what is this going to be worth after we've renovated it? We use just market data that's available to everybody. We generally like 3 to 5 comps of similar size, same zip codes, same school zones, all those dynamics. And whatever that average price per square foot is going to be, for that style of home that we're putting out, that's what we peg ARV at.
Right.
And then the costs are kind of the costs.
Yeah.
And so we're generally not that far off.
Right.
What I would say, though, is in some micro pockets or some parts of Southern California where we buy, we are starting to see some end consumers willing to put up more cash to get into something that creates a little more value for themselves, which is interesting. But I think it's maybe 1 out of 50 deals. I don't know what you think, but
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, sometimes if somebody's going to buy it all cash, obviously changes the performance by a good amount. But yeah, for the most part, I totally agree with you. It usually when we do track it, even if we lose the offer to somebody else, they end up getting a reduction down to what we wanted it for in the first place.
Yeah. So hence your follow-up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So one last question there, and we kind of have danced around it, but if you're an agent that is not currently working with Buy House or you're in a market where we aren't, what would you do differently? What is one thing you would do differently tomorrow to transact more?
If you're not working with Buy House?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, set a clock for yourself. Start working at 8 and then stop working at 5.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I mean, that's just like step one. Obviously, I could go into ways to, create systems for yourself to make it easier. For me, also with my personality, having, a set amount of time and then having a system, that I think is just the starting point. Like you need that, 100% you need that. If you do want to transact more. Like you don't have to be smarter. You don't have to be more knowledgeable. Like, I mean, I came into this not knowing really anything, honestly, about real estate.
Yeah, but what you're saying though is dedicate yourself fully to the job.
Yes.
And then when you do that, look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what can I do differently? What actions can I take that will deliver a different result?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still always changing exactly what I'm doing, my exact processes. But end of the day, obviously just putting in the time itself is always going to be there. That's never going to go away. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, with that, we have our game to play.
Yeah.
So we are playing Guess That Price. Is it right?
Okay.
So,
I gotta be better today.
So I am currently winning scoreboard 1-0 guessed. So we'll see.
You're
We're gonna see.
You're our first guest.
First guest
Oh,
playing this game
okay.
with us. So, okay, we're going to be guessing the price of the home. We're going to get location, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and square footage.
So for our listeners that are not watching the video content,
you should watch the video.
I recommend watching the video content for this segment.
But if not, Paul does a really great job describing what he's looking at. So let's do it. Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, Costa Mesa. I
We're gonna be
feel like
dangerous,
Paxton has an unfair advantage
All
here.
right.
I know the zip code.
Okay.
This home
so
is not sold.
I know
3
this
bedrooms,
listing.
3
bedrooms,
baths.
3
He says he knows the listing.
I'm joking.
1792
We probably do.
square feet. I know. Yeah, we might all know it.
1792 square feet.
All
All right.
1960. Makes sense.
Okay.
And are we is this not on the main road, not next to
You get nothing
multifamily?
now.
any of
You
that.
get
Okay, that's
you
hard.
get photos. You get photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This is, I know exactly where this is at.
This looks pretty familiar. Okay. All right. So, I mean, if we're describing the house,
I would guess it's a 6,800 square foot lot within a mile of Killybrook Elementary School. It is it's a true kind of track home from the 60s in SoCal, where it's a slab foundation. Entryway has a fireplace, ceiling's 8 feet.
okay.
Yeah, maybe they did the floors a while back. Oh, sunroom.
Yeah, you got some tile / laminate flooring probably, and a sunroom on
What
the
would you
back.
do with a sunroom like that in Costa Mesa there?
I would not have a sunroom.
Well, that is my. That's what I was leading to.
But this is a beautiful. I mean, let's
Yeah.
go back. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Like sunroom. Sorry, I'm just going back to the sunroom. This has got a lazy boy on AstroTurf in the sunroom. There was a retired human that sat out
Yes.
there all day, every day, warming up.
Living life,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, 90s era remodel
Yeah.
kitchen, like cherry cabinets. You got some granite on the countertops.
Okay. I mean, it's like
The carpet toilet seat cover, love that.
That is helpful.
you were right with your retired.
Oh, yeah.
That is my grandma would
Water
always
pick.
have. I'm like, is this
Yeah,
sanitary?
water pick.
I
You
don't
picked up
know.
on the water pick. Yeah, there's a
Oh,
water
yeah.
pick in the bathroom.
Okay.
There's a little office off of this. Has got to be the primary.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Look how small the primary is, though.
Yeah.
So it's probably a king size bed, and you've got like a 1.5 feet on either side of it.
Well, maybe take some of that office space.
Yes.
Kid room?
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Some fancy colors in there.
Beautiful green
All
door.
right.
Okay.
It's like both siblings slept in that last room. On like
Yeah.
either side of it.
Yeah.
The
They
pink
like
and blue.
cats?
Yeah.
And rocking chairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots of rocking chairs.
All right.
Split out through this house. I mean, it's pretty basic. The
Yeah.
popcorn ceilings have been scraped in some rooms, but not others. It's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Oh,
There
man, look at this
it
sunroom.
is.
This
There's
a
that
vibe.
sunroom.
Gotta stay.
Yes. Has to say.
Must keep.
Okay.
All right.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah.
But you
nice.
got to pull through on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Decent
So
yard.
there was no garage then.
Is the yard like, it's not a square? Is it like, it's kind of interesting how you can see the yard there in that
Yeah.
corner. Like,
Yeah.
So we said how many square feet was it?
So
60,
1792.
1792.
All right. Paxton, you get the first guess.
I get the honors. It is hard to say because obviously, like, street is gonna matter a lot here, and like how close it is to Irvine. But it is 2626 zip code, so
So that's like southeast of
Yeah.
Mesa Verde. It's got to be west of the 405 for the 626. Although
I hope
be
it is, or
South
else I'm
Coast.
gonna be so off.
yeah, it could be south coast of the pocket. Next to
No
Wimbledon.
pressure. No pressure.
Who's going first?
Paxton, he's
You
the
get to go
guest.
last.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
Oh
you're-
wait, is this on
you're
east
winning.
side, or are you saying it's not on the east side?
626.
Well-
I don't think it's east side.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not.
Well,
Oh,
we don't know.
We
I
don't
think
know
so.
where it is.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think so.
From looking at it.
I think this is next to Killybrook Elementary. That track
Oh,
behind Target.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just north of, or just north.
These guys, we need a harder one for them.
This is hard. This is hard. We
Okay.
don't know exactly what it is.
All right.
What's your number?
I'm gonna say 165.
Whoa, it's a big number. You think 1,000?
It's my number.
I'm going 1275.
Oh.
I was going to go 1425.
Okay, let's see it.
So, drum roll. Is anyone okay? 135.
Yes, I was way off.
Okay. All right.
Does that mean I win?
Do you win?
Yeah.
Did
I'm
you
within
win this one?
75,000.
I think we have to do another one. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is it within a mile of Killybrook? It's behind Target. It's got to be behind Target.
Yeah.
I think I've seen
Okay.
this house before.
Well,
Isn't this close to where you live?
It is.
yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that on the podcast.
I'm so
for
sorry.
everyone,
I'm
but-
so sorry.
I live in 1966.
Within 100 miles.
Minorca. This is. Yeah. It's going to be, I know the exact track. It's going to
Yeah.
be right behind the Target next to Killybrook Elementary
Yeah,
School.
I feel that they did this to me on purpose so that I would have an
Oh,
unfair
no. It
advantage.
is Mesa Verde. This is the outer loop of Mesa Verde.
Oh, okay.
So I would have guessed like 1.5 if I picked up on that. I thought it was going to be right up there next to Hallcrest. That little pocket. No, to the left.
Okay.
Oh, and just east of Harbor.
All right.
I was thinking
That's probably a deal,
like close to. I was thinking like close to the golf course.
Yeah, good job, guys. Okay. All
right, let's buy it.
Our team.
Junior, for all of our listeners, Junior is our incredible podcast. We got to come up with
Director.
A good name. Director.
Yeah, he does it all.
Yeah, confidant.
Yeah.
He's our North Star of podcast.
Yeah.
He gets the referral fee if we go buy that.
Okay, great.
Probably write an offer on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Text me the address.
1,700 square feet. That's a good deal.
That's what I'm saying.
It's on Menorca.
I think I'm all about that sunroom. I mean, I feel something good can happen.
We have a
there.
baked-in buyer.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Okay. Well, with that, do we have any closing thoughts for the day? I would say for me, my takeaway, being on the real estate side of things, I think if you're not already, if you're an agent and you are not sending deals to Buy Buy House, I think you're insane. And if you want to learn more about it, I think, there are trainings and a lot of offerings for agents to understand what that world looks like, because I will recognize that it is different from, the average real estate deal. And I think it's important to state, like, it is not going to be like other transactions that you've done in the past if you haven't worked with investors. Yeah. But I think that is really what makes Paxton so great at what he does, besides like just you as a person and the dedication that you put into it. But coming in and not knowing anything else about what the process looks like, sometimes as agents, we get in our own way. And, we feel that things have to be a certain way. But really, like, we make the rules. We all make our own rules. So make your rules and live your life. No. And close some deals. So, yeah.
So I have a few things. One thing, so if you're an agent at Innovate,
yes,
Paxton runs a 5-day boot camp to learn how to become an investor. If you're not at Innovate, should we just open a couple slots up?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Are you open to that?
Sure.
So if you're a listener and you're in Southern California and you're not at Innovate Realty, even if you're not here, which I don't understand why you wouldn't be, but we are going to open up for our next boot camp. We'll open up a couple of slots for agents outside of the brokerage. If you're interested in listening, just send an inquiry in and we'll get you into the slot.
Great.
I would say if you're not in California, we can also help train and develop you. And we have access to other investors through the lending arm. So if you are an agent in Des Moines, Iowa, or anywhere else, what was that city in Texas where we had that person?
El Paso. We had El Paso.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in El Paso, submit it to us, and we will help you become an investor. We'll find investors to help you get deal flow done. Two other things I want to touch on quick. We'll go here first.
Oh,
I feel like there's a big update that we didn't really get to announce.
Oh, yes.
I feel like we have to announce it here.
I feel that there is a bigger one coming, but I think I'm assuming you're referring to La Jolla. So Innovate just opened our 4th office in La Jolla. So down in San Diego. It's a beautiful location, right a block away from the beach.
Yep.
I actually posted a poll this morning because I started thinking about it yesterday when one of the agents was like, I couldn't find parking, so I just went to the beach and listened from there. And I was like, was this a bad idea?
Oh, no.
Are agents going to want to be at the beach instead of in the office? So no. I think so far we're winning. I think agents are really excited about it. But it's a beautiful space, and Innovate. It's a huge accomplishment. It's been like a year in the making. So very, very excited to get that launched.
Yeah.
Launch party. Stay tuned. Coming soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's exciting news.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yeah.
What are your future goals in real estate? Like personally and in business, and what do you want to do with the momentum you've created?
That's a great question. So for Buy Buy House, I have for myself and then for Buy by House. For Buy by House, I want to take what we have here in Southern California and then move it to other markets. So I want to take, what we're doing, our whole system, everything we have, lender, escrow, maybe title one day, the brokerage, take that package, move it into another market, and then be fully functioning already because we have every piece of the puzzle and do that in other markets. So that's my like I say, like kind of long-term goal. Short term, I think I want to buy, $6 million at least a month of real estate just right here where we live. And then obviously more on the construction, getting more GCs, doing stuff cheaper, doing stuff faster. That's less me, but that's always obviously, that's always my hope.
Yeah.
And then for myself, actually, I'm planning to do some investing in real estate, probably into Buy by House deals. That's my first hope within the next probably 1 to 3 years.
Wait, you're going to JV with Buy by House?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's an option. So if you're a listener and you're an agent, you could JV with Buy by House?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who knew?
Yeah, I know.
That's story for another.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, maybe we should do an entire episode on that.
It's a great idea.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so that's like what I'm going to do for the next 1 to 3 years. And then after that, my plan right now is to do a couple purchases of probably 3 to 6 unit deals, fix and holds in probably more like East OC.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's my plan right now. We'll see exactly what happens.
Very clear.
So in 5 years, bring me back.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I
We'll do
love it.
I'll just close by saying it's been amazing to get your full story. I know most of it, but it's cool to hear your goals. I think a tremendous amount of your success to where you are today is also kind of highlighted with what you just mentioned about your long-term goals and short-term goals. Like you're very, very clear. I'm going to buy 3 to 6 unit deals in East OC over the next 3 years. I'm going to invest and do this, right? And so your goals and your intentions are very, very focused. And I think that's why you've created the success you've created. But it's been an honor to spend time and work with you. And I hope we both retire at Buy by House.
Same.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And recently married.
I know.
Yeah.
So for all of the ladies that are listening,
So sorry,
off
my
the market,
friend.
off the market. Yeah. All right. For everybody that is listening and subscribed, we appreciate that. It helps out a lot. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Check us out on all the socials. And we're going to be back in a week for another episode.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.